Good morning, dear students. Hope you all are fine and safe at your home. Today we start new chapter, that is chapter number 4, Chinese Civilization. In this chapter, we are going to learn the reasons that led to the emergence of the Chinese civilization, different dynasties of China and their contribution, impact of the Chinese civilization on the modern world. A great river valley civilization flourished on the banks of river Huanghe. The Huanghe is said to be the cradle of the ancient Chinese civilization. This river is also called Yellow River as the soil around the river is yellow in color. You may have read about Huang Ho as China's sorrow. That is because after the flood, the Huang Ho often changed its course, resulting destruction of crops and canals. At the same time, it brought prosperity for the Chinese people by turning the soil fertile by the deposition of silt. This helped the Chinese farmers to carry out agriculture. Shang Dynasty. The Chinese civilization began during the Bronze Civilization and continued into the Iron Age. The first Chinese dynasty that came to the power around 1765 BC was known as the Shang Dynasty, which ruled till 1122 BC. The Shang Dynasty is credited with developing a writing system that is still in use and showed great artistry in bronze. Chinese civilization arose during Bronze Age and continued in the Iron Age. The first Chinese dynasty, that is Shang Dynasty, came to power around 1765 BC and it ruled till 1122 BC. This dynasty developed writing system that is still in use. Now, Zhou Dynasty. The Shang Dynasty was followed by the Zhou Dynasty, which ruled from the 12th century BC to the 3rd century BC. During this period, the Chinese civilization reached its peak. It was during this time that great teacher Confucius put forth a code of ethics that dominated the Chinese thought and culture for several centuries. The Zhou dynasty was followed by many other dynasties. Zhou dynasty followed the Shang dynasty. The Zhou dynasty was the longest running dynasty in Chinese history. During this period, the Chinese reached its peak in the 8th. In this time, Confucius made principles because of that Chinese thought and culture remains powerful for several centuries. Rich culture progressed under this dynasty. Each of them contributed to the progress of civilization. Now, we will study features of the Chinese civilization. Features are society, economy, religion, Chinese script and architecture. Society. Some features of the Chinese society are as follows. The Chinese society was hierarchical, with the ruler or the emperor at the top. Nobles, merchants, artisans, and farmers followed the emperor in hierarchical order. The slaves were at the bottom of the social hierarchy. The soldiers were feared and respected and enjoyed a special position in the Chinese society. The Chinese family was a close-knit group where the elder members of the family commanded respect from all other members. In the Chinese society, the emperor or the ruler considered at the top position. After the emperor, merchants, artisans, farmers came. The slaves were at the bottom. The soldiers had a special position in the Chinese society. They were respected by everyone. In the family, elder member of the family got respect from other members of the family. Now, economy, agriculture. Agriculture was the basis of the Chinese economy. Crops such as rice, wheat, barley, and millet were grown. The Chinese people were the first to cultivate tea, used initially for medicinal purposes. It went on to become a popular drink in China. Also known as cha, it soon became a popular drink in Asian countries. During the Iron Age, the use of iron tools for ploughing revolutionized agriculture. Development of irrigation system and construction of dikes and canals also boosted the growth of cultivation. Agriculture was the main source of Chinese economy. Crops like rice, wheat, barley were grown. They were the first who cultivated tea. It was used for medicinal purposes and it became popular drink in China. It was also known as cha and soon it became a famous drink in Asian countries. Now, Sari culture. China was the first country in the world to raise silkworms and make silk. They became excellent masters of Sari culture. The silk weaving technology was mastered by the Chinese and remained their secret for a long time. It was their main item of export. It is the first country in the world who raise silkworms and make silk. They were master of the production of silk. It was the main item of export. Now, art and craft. Porcelain. Besides silk, the Chinese developed the art of making porcelain. They were the first to make beautiful porcelain cups, saucers, vessels, jars, and bowls. These were decorated with magnificent designs. Handicrafts. Handicrafts such as lacquer, woodwork, leather processing, textiles, jade carvings, bronze objects, and making gold and silver wares were also mastered by the Chinese. They were experts in art and craft. They made beautiful pots, cups, saucers, vases, etc. They decorated it with magnificent designs. In this picture, you can see the art of their talent. They were master of handicrafts. Now, trade. The Chinese merchants traded with Japan, India, Egypt, and Mesopotamia. Their main items of export were silk, tea, paper, and chinaware. The Chinese transported silk to Central Asia, the Mediterranean region, and the Roman Empire through the Silk Route. The Romans regarded silk as valuable as gold. Chinese also used various modes of transportation to carry out trading activities. Carts and boats were the chief means of transportation. Later, horse-drawn carriages were also used. They had trade relations with Japan, India, Egypt, and Mesopotamia. They mainly exports the items such as tea, silk, China products. They used various modes of transportation to carry trading activities. Carts and boats were main means of transport. Later, horse-drawn carriages were also used.
Now it's time to clear your doubts. I'm very happy to know that you are watching videos seriously. I appreciate you all. Many of you have the same doubt, that is question and answer. So learn the question answers which I am giving to you. Others are omitted. One student asked me about Egyptian civilization. I already explained you in detail. So this is my advice to watch that video again where I explained the Egyptian civilization and its features. Now, one more doubt is there. What is art and craft? Actually, agriculture was the main occupation of the people. Along with that, people were engaged themselves in other activities like making of statues and pottery, gold and silver ornaments, metal objects, etc. Is it okay? One fill in the blank from chapter 2 Egyptian civilization is that lower and upper regions of Egypt were unified by dash and dash. Answers are manis and normer, not farmer. Okay, the answer is manis and normer. Okay, so here your doubts are over. And we also end up our class here. Have a nice day and take good care of yourself. Thank you.